Guys, this right here is our next long-term pickup truck. We're gonna fully reveal it in just a couple of days. But in this video, I'm saying goodbye to our last long-termer, the 2022 Toyota Tundra. So this is a full comprehensive review. We've spent almost 5 months with the Tundra, 7,300 miles. We've towed several times, almost cross-country with it. So by the end of this video, you'll know everything you need to know about the Toyota Tundra. And just wait. Like I said, just a couple days, and we're gonna unveil fully what we just bought and tell you everything about this. Welcome to the most comprehensive review of the all-new 2022 Toyota Tundra. I'm gonna tell you the entire story of the truck, so by the end of this review, you will know about its road trip worthiness, its acceleration, its towing ability, its usability in the daily life, its fuel efficiency, and the rest. So let's start with the road trip because I picked it up in Houston. This is an all-new truck from the ground up. They really touched every nut and bolt, and we wanted to be the first people in the country to get it. So I flew down to Houston, like I said, to pick it up because it was near the factory where this truck is built in San Antonio, Texas. So the clip you're about to see is me picking up the truck and driving at about 1,100 miles, and you'll also see my first road trip fuel efficiency right here. Guys, that right there is the all-new 2022 Toyota Tundra, and TFL Truck is the first customer. We're very fortunate to have this truck. I just purchased it for the company in the Houston area, and this is the first road trip from northern Houston back to Denver, Colorado. Okay, I just finished filling up. Let me show you the gallons that went in the truck. 18.084. So if you take 337 miles divided by the gallons, the result I have is 18.6 mpg. So it's a little bit better than the truck was saying. It's realistic, it's high-speed first road trip. 18.6 mpg does not match, of course, the highway rating that's on the sticker, but I think after this truck is broken in and more to day-to-day driving and slightly more combined driving, it should get a little bit better efficiency.
We know all too well that being a truck enthusiast can cost a pretty penny, and that's where our friends at Upstart can really help out. An Upstart-powered personal loan can help you pay off credit cards, consolidate high-interest debt or fund personal expenses, and with it, you get a fixed monthly payment with a clear payoff date. The terms are simple and the process is all online. Since you're more than just a credit score, Upstart weighs additional factors like your income and employment to find a smarter rate for your loan. Don't wait and check your rate today at upstart.com/fastlane. That's upstart.com/fastlane to check your rate today. And don't forget to use our URL to let them know we sent you. Upstart provides loans anywhere between $1,000 to $50,000. You can check your rate in minutes, and checking your rate won't impact your credit score. Go to upstart.com/fastlane. They've helped over 1.8 million customers, and you can receive funds in as little as 1 business day.
The truck was, of course, brand new. I picked it up with like 12 miles on the clock. And the good thing about this engine, it's a twin turbo 3.5 liter V6, is that it does not require premium high octane fuel. It can run on 87 octane, which is what I was using. And the power rating is 389 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque. And the 10-speed automatic is backing it up. And I gotta tell you, the cabin is ultra quiet. I really enjoyed that aspect of the road trip. And the transmission and the engine work beautifully together. It's very smooth transmission shifts, and it was great. I had my wireless CarPlay enabled. My first fuel efficiency was on par with a lot of the current V8s and also some EcoBoost engines from Ford, some turbocharged ones. So Toyota did not leapfrog the competition, but it stays right there with good power. Okay, fuel efficiency may be a little bit boring to talk about and show, so how about a drag race where you can see exactly what performance this twin turbo puts down at our test track? So let's roll that video right now.
Got him on the start.
Okay, come on, turbos.
Keep going, Hemi.
Come on.
I still have him.
And I am pulling away.
I'm go.
And bam! That was way too close. That was way too close.
That was close.
I think I had you by a chin.
Now, at the very end, you had me. I would say there was probably like 2 feet, but this thing was way quicker than I thought. Well done, good old Hemi. Well done.
7.76. So the Tundra is really about a second quicker than the Titan, and it's just a hair quicker, maybe a tenth or 2/10 quicker than the Ram. So there you go, 7.76 seconds 0 to 60 at a mile above sea level is not a bad result. It's also quicker than a 5.7 liter Hemi, as you just saw in that video. But enough about that, let's talk about utility. I'm talking about trailer towing and payload. Like I was saying before, Toyota redesigned this truck. That includes the frame. It's now a little bit wider in the rear for more stability. It has a 2-inch receiver. They increased the numbers as well for towing. This crew cab truck, 4-wheel drive, limited trim, is rated to tow over 11,000 pounds, which is just on par with competition, because that number is equivalent to about what a Ram 1500 V8 4-wheel drive truck can do. Some Ford and Chevy GM trucks are rated to tow higher, which is why this truck, as far as total numbers, is not over par, is not better than the rest, but it's just average. And here's my eye gauntlet, where I get to take this and about 8,100 pounds on the world's toughest towing test. Oh, last time we had 6 brake applications. Now in Tow Plus, which is supposed to be used for trailers over 5,000 pounds and above, we had slightly worse performance. Dude, I was expecting the same or better performance. I wasn't expecting a higher number.
So it's not getting really any above 64 decibels, and it's averaging around 61, 62. So
Dude, that's
not too bad.
Like, this was exactly what happened last time in this truck, and I checked all our data. That's the quietest cabin on the hike.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, just being in here, you hear the engine, but it's not loud. We can stop it a little early since we're getting slowed down here. Okay.
And stopping the timer.
Yeah,
You got it?
I mean, we're right at 8 minutes. We got slowed down a little bit there at the end. So it's, I would say, a perfect time.
4.7 to 4.8. Right there, 4.7 mpg. So a little bit better than last time, according to the trip meter. There you have it, guys. That was quite impressive, the eye gauntlet. First of all, it was the quietest truck at about, 60 decibels that we've ever tested on the hike. Very impressive. The cabin is ultra insulated. The power was really monstrous. I wasn't actually using barely half the throttle on the way up. On the downhill, like you saw, 6 brake applications, really good time up the mountain, about 4.3 mpg on this world's toughest towing test, which is about average, actually. So once again, on par, but stability and cabin comfort are excellent. Next, on the utility side of things, is the payload of this truck. It is 1,400 pounds. Good, pretty average for the class, but here's the not so good part. Right here, the gross vehicle weight rating is 7230, which means when you subtract the payload from this, it's about 5,800 pounds of this truck just by itself. Curb weight, which is relatively heavy. It's one of the heavier ones in the class, in fact. But the bed is still usable. Let me show you the tailgate and the bed. The great part about the new Tundra is that every one of them, no matter what trim level, comes with this remote tailgate open, which is really, really cool. Or on certain trim levels, not all of them, you have this. The elbow button, yes, that's really special and that makes the Tundra unique. And then there is the bed. When we ordered this truck, we bought the limited one with no side steps. And actually, There's not an easy way to get into the bed. This doesn't have a kind of a foot cutout like GM trucks. Also doesn't have the optional kick down step. So it's old-fashioned. Okay, but I wanted to get in here to show you the bed. It's a composite material now. And in fact, if you get this 5.5 foot length or a 6.5 foot length, which is also available now with the crew cab, or an 8.1 foot bed, they're all composite, which is pretty impressive. Also saves a little bit of weight. Very tough, it won't be damaged very easily. But here's the thing, you know, it's a tiny bit slippery depending on the conditions, if it's been raining or not. And we don't have a special coating that Toyota offers. They offers this grip coating that we did not get. So some positives and some negatives here in the bed. Once again, this Tundra has an all new interior and all new seats, new materials, new center console. And overall, after about 7,200 miles in the seat, and we also towed with this cross country. I'll show you that in a second. But overall, the seat material quality, the console has been pretty good. There are not too many scuffs. There are a couple of scuffs on the door cards. And when you get higher trim level Tundras, like the 1794 edition, or even their platinum editions, or even the capstone, the top dog, you get nicer materials still that feel and look way better. But I think this is on par with the class. Unfortunately, the seat comfort on the long trip hasn't been great for my legs. It's just my complaint, my personal complaint. My legs are a little bit taller, I guess, or longer than others. So let me show you this. Let me show you my towing trip where we towed a trailer from Denver to Phoenix. So you can see a long-term or long-distance towing with the fuel economy as well. I want to go as long as I can on this one tank of fuel and show you exactly how this Tundra tows on the highway at speed, pulling this truck, and figure out, is it more efficient or less efficient or the same pulling a vehicle like this versus pulling a camper. Let me show you. This was the entire fill up, 28.789 gallons. Okay, let's do the calculation. Total distance was 269 miles. That's verified with a Google map from just north of Colorado Springs down to Las Vegas, New Mexico. And I used, like I showed you, 28.789 gallons. 9.3, rounding to the first decimal point, 9.3, and the truck's at 9.2. So the truck was pretty much on the money with this MPG. Well, you saw it right there. Once again, towing 8,100 pound trailer, highway speeds, which means about 70, sometimes 75 miles an hour. 9.3 MPG is also pretty good. I wanted to see something like 10 MPG. I would have liked to see something like that. An F-150 EcoBoost, maybe around the same area. So once again, on par. But let's now transition into the technology of this truck. One of the reasons why we chose the limited trim is because it was an easy way to get this, their newest 14-inch diagonal screen. And the resolution on this screen is amazing. I really love that section of it. But then we've had some issues as well. This truck, and then actually all new Toyotas starting about now, have the user profiles. You can set your profile, it's linked to the cloud. You can set things like your favorite sounds, podcasts, your radio stations, satellite radio, your seat settings, everything else. But it's been a little bit problematic as far as just getting into it. I just started the truck with my key, but it thinks I'm Roman. Obviously I'm not, so I have to go to my profile. Now it's gonna ask me for my PIN number. Okay. This was a very precise code. No! Okay, sorry, one more. Adjust seats. Yes. Yes? Oh, look at this. Oh, now it's texting Roman. So, okay, I get what Toyota is trying to do, right? They're trying to make people's life easier. There's also like a valet mode. So if you're valeting the truck, you can actually set the settings just the right way. You can also monitor it on your app. All those things are good. It's just that the first login screen is just too much. Because if I'm in a hurry, I'm not going to be trying to input my passwords and my PIN numbers and all this stuff. But everything else, as far as the cameras and all the views you get with this tech, is really, really great. I also love the fact that all these are hard toggles and buttons. So your HVAC system has been really nice, really useful. Ventilated seats and heated here on the Limited. Here's your camera button as well. My tailgate is open, so it's doing a little bit of a funky image, but you can play around with these images as well. And so yeah, overall usability and the screen is amazing. Just the profile thing is an issue in my mind. The gauge cluster is a combination of analog and digital screen. I love that, so I can get different types of information easily. And one thing that the Tundra is equipped with is, of course, adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, and it can be annoying at times as far as lane keep assist, but the cruise control, the adaptive feature works really, really great. It has a way to keep track of your trailers. You can predefine several of them, and some of the information will be displayed right here. Of course, I'm not hooked up to a trailer right now, so it's not enabled at this minute, but the screen is tiny. I really want that capability on a 14-inch screen, and currently there is not. So that's one thing. Also, it's a little bit cumbersome to operate. I want it to be easier, kind of like what Ford does. Otherwise, you're just using these arrows and up and down buttons to kind of scroll through some of that information. So it's okay, but not great. This truck is also equipped with a TRD off-road package, and I really wanted that for these reasons. First, it also comes equipped with multi-terrain select, so you can choose different off-road modes. Crawl control system button is right here. You can enable that using this toggle right here. I'm shifting into 4 high. I need to wait a second because Toyota trucks can be a little bit temperamental, and that's because the transfer case is a little bit overbuilt. It's built more like a heavy-duty pickup than a half-ton pickup. That's according to Toyota engineers. So after this is engaged, you can use those modes, also use them in 4 low. And by the way, up here, I have my drive modes for Sport, Eco, and Normal, and my tow haul mode is up here. Also, I get a locker. Let me show you. Selectable rear locker. Yes, thank you very much. But it only operates actually in 4 low. I'm not sure why you cannot use it in 4 high, but for lowest speed crawling, this is the one to use. Here's the other thing that TRD off-road package offers you. It's this 20-inch wheel with a Wild Peak Falcon all-terrain tire. It's the AT3WA. Size is 265, 60 R20. This is good and bad. Let me show you a clip of me taking this truck off-road, actually against a Ram 1500 backcountry. So let's check out that clip. Let's see if I can do this with crawl control and the locker. You know what? Going super slowly, that was better than the Ram. I think the computers and of course the rear locker really helped me there. Oops, there's a little bit of trouble there. A little bit of trouble there. Can I make this turn? Maneuverability test? Can I do it? Yeah, I know, there's a tree there. Okay, I did it. The traction was a little bit better in the Tundra, and I took pretty much, as far as I can tell, the identical line. Here's the good, the bad, and the ugly about taking this truck off-road. First of all, the good things. The tire traction itself is actually really good. I was able to climb, as you saw, some of those loose, rocky sections with ease. Also, the four-wheel drive system is really great. just transfers power in a good way and offers good just crawling ability in general. The not so good part is that it's a 20-inch wheel, which doesn't leave a lot of profile for the tire itself, so you cannot really effectively air it down. The ugly, the tow hooks. Yes, I'm going to mention it again and again and again. When this truck is, in a bad way, stuck somewhere, or if you're pulling out a friend, you really need some attachment points in the front and in the rear in the pickup truck. So that's an issue. Also, the front clearance, the approach angle is a little bit compromised by this big chin. So those are the negatives. A couple of other good things about off-roading. There's some underbody protection on this TRD off-road truck. Skid plates for the fuel tank, that's very important. The wheelbase is about 145 inches, which is almost identical to what an F-150 crew cab has. But at times I kind of felt like the turning radius was a bit wide. I mean, I know it's a big pickup truck, but I think some others may offer a little bit better maneuverability. But it's once again on par, I would say, with others. The other complaint I have, and that's why it's on par, is yes, off-roadability is good, but there's no all-wheel drive mode on the transfer case. It's either 2 high or 4 high or 4 low. Go figure. I want to show you something that's a little bit subpar, so below average. So first of all, here in the back seat, I have great room. I'm just over 6'2". I have headroom, I have legroom. That's not the subpar version, that's good. What's subpar actually is some of the utility of the back seat. First of all, there's a transmission tunnel. Most manufacturers like Ford, GM, and Ram have got away with, they're doing flat floors now. So that's one thing. The second thing is this underseat compartment storage. It's great, right? You can put stuff here. Sorry for the mess. We were just at Tumbleweed Ranch and got this truck a little bit dirty. But this wall is not, you cannot fold it down like in some other trucks. So what if I want to carry something like a television back here from Costco or another box store? So the overall utility is not super great, although you have your cup holders here as well. I just wish this floor was a little bit better. Well, it's actually time to say goodbye to our long-term 2022 Tundra. And my experience, and I think you've heard me say it over and over again in this review, is that this truck, fully redesigned, is now exactly where the competition is. Unfortunately, I really wanted it to stand out in more areas than it does. Like I showed you in this review, it's super stable and comfortable while towing heavy trailers. It's a great part about it. It's competent off-road, but there's these little things, be it the profile, passwords, and PIN numbers, or kind of the low chin bumper in the front, and other small areas that don't make it, the best in class. But reliability on this truck has been excellent. I have an oil report video out there. I can show some B-roll from that video to you now, where I actually tested the oil, the engine oil that came out of this at about 5,000 miles, and it came back with great, pretty good results for a first oil change. So that's good news. And yeah, it's been a pretty solid truck for us for 4.5 months. Now it's time to move on to something else. You'll also see videos of us purchasing the next truck. Stay tuned to TFL Truck channel. It's going to be pretty exciting. We're getting another off-road ready, capable pickup to replace the Tundra. And by the way, I promised you the pricing, right? So this truck, limited, four-wheel drive, crew cab with a shorter bed, was at about, that pricing starts MSRP around $53,000. TRD off-road package adds another about $3,000, and then destination charges, so about $57,200 was this truck, brand new MSRP. And now, well, they're holding their value once again, pretty highly. And we'll have another video for you on the channel where we explain to you our trade-in process on this truck. So check it out as well. And also, don't forget, alltfl.com is our brand new one-place, one-stop shop for everything TFL, be it motorcycles, cars, off-roaders, classics. Everything is one place. Thanks for joining me on this long-term review update. I'll see you in the next one.